Okay, if you have a hard time placing each line of text, you can just delete the lines and we can do the same thing that we did when we copied things. If I have one string completed and no additional lines, and if you just click on them and hit delete on the keyboard, they'll all go away. We can copy and paste this line. If I just click on this line with my selection tool, I can hold the Option key and just move this over the next string, and move the next one over the next string. So I'm just clicking and dragging this while holding the Option key, and I'm able to move these strings into place. And so now we've got 6 strings saying the exact same thing, so they look very uniform. And we can just nudge these with the arrow tool by selecting on all of them, and now we've got 6-string guitar. So it's an easier way of doing the strings if you're having a hard time pasting in each line. And so we've got the strings going all the way down. Now the next thing that we want to do is add just these 2 little details. I want to add in the circles of text here and the bridge right here. And so I'm going to just put a new layer, and I'm going to name this layer Bridge and Circles. And we're going to put some new stuff on here. Now I'm going to lock the strings so that we don't mess with those. And I'm going to take my ellipse tool, which is underneath my rectangle tool. So go to your ellipse tool, and I'm going to hold shift to make a perfect circle. Now what I want to do is place my mouse in a place where it's intersecting if I were to draw a box around this circle. So if I were to draw a perfect square around this circle, I want to go to the very top corner of where that square would be, where it's going to intersect the top of the circle and the side of the circle. Now if I hold shift and make an ellipse like so, I'm going to get that circle. So once we have that circle going around the body of the guitar, then this is what we want. Of course, we don't want it to be a fill, I want it to be a stroke, so I'm just going to swap fill and stroke, and so I'm going to have this stroke going around. Now the next thing I'm going to do is make another line intersecting this inner circle, so I'm going to pretend like there's a box drawn perfectly around this circle, and I'm going to go to the place where it intersects the top and side of this circle, hold shift, and I'm going to make another circle. Now look at this circle, it's not in the right place. So all I got to do is hit my selection tool, and I can use my arrow keys, and I can just nudge this into the right place that I want it to be. Okay. Now for this one, I'm going to use my text tool again, and I'm going to approach this line, and you see that my mouse changes into kind of an oval shape, but if I hold my Option key, then I can start clicking or click on the outside of this, and I can type on the outside of this line. Now what I'm going to do is put the caps lock on, and I'm just going to put the name of the band, the name of the song, the album that it is, which is 14 Shades of Grey, and I'm going to end with the name of the band as well. Text is very small, so I'm going to highlight this, and I'm actually going to make this text a little larger. Let's try 12 point. Okay, 12 point is going too far around the circle, so I'm going to try 11 point. Alright, that looks good. It's starting where the strings start and it's ending where the strings end, and so I got this text overlapping one another. Now I'm going to take my selection tool and deselect this, and I've got this interior circle too, and I'm going to basically do the same thing. So if I wanted to, I can come up here to this text and highlight it and go to edit, copy, and then I'm going to select, deselect, and I'm going to take my text tool and go up to this circle, hold the Option key, click, and I'm going to paste this text in. Now there's too much text here, and so I'm just going to click here at the end, and I'm going to start backspacing. Until I get this text going around. The text doesn't really have to make sense, it's just stuff that has to do with this particular band. The last thing I'm going to do is use my rectangle marquee tool, I should say, with a stroke. Whoops, I accidentally changed my text. I need to make sure I select deselect by just clicking somewhere off of what I just had, and I'm going to grab my rectangle tool with a stroke, and I'm going to draw the rectangle around the bridge, and I'm going to grab my text tool, and this time I'm not going to hold Option. I'm going to click so that I type inside this box, and I'm going to put the name of the band. And I'm actually going to choose kind of a different font here, just so that I, you know, pick something that is more, you know, having to do with the band. And so that's not it. Let's see. Like that. That'll be better. And I'm going to make this a large, maybe larger than that. Oh, that's too big. 24 point. All right. And we can even spread this text out, maybe put a space between each letter. And perhaps if I highlight this and put center, then I can get that centered on there onto the fretboard. And actually, let's see if there's a bold style for this. Regular, oh, regular. Maybe I'll pick something that has a better feel for the, oh, that's pretty good. Is there a bold for this? Semi-bold. Alright. Good. So there's our guitar. Pretty simple shape. We got our strings going down, and we've got the name of the band, the circle's done. This is pretty much complete. We can also put it on a black background if we wanted to by making a layer below our guitar body and making the text all white. And that's something that actually I would challenge you to do. If you do want to turn it in like this, where it's just black on white, and I can turn my template off, and this is actually how our image is going to look in the end. So we've got our guitar body with the text following the path. And you can do this with any image. The guitar is a pretty simple one to do. The more detailed you make this, the better. And so we have our guitar body, and you've got words and text.